He very seldom does interviews. I can just say groveling sometimes is a very effective technique. Please, 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 please.
Well, now that Gayle did score a very rare interview with Jay-Z.
It was several very annoying asks. I think he just did it so I would stop, so I'd leave him alone.
CBS Mornings is smartly getting all the mileage they can out of this. So the interview will air in 2 parts on Thursday and Friday.
We can't even do it in 1 part. It's going to be 2.
All right, 2 parts.
And before that, the morning show aired a preview clip on Monday.
There's something interesting online, Jay. I'd love to hear what you think about this.
Tuesday, and I'm guessing Wednesday as well.
You had a tease yesterday. You asked him.
If you had a choice between getting paid $500,000 in cash or lunch with Jay-Z, which would you choose?
And that went viral yesterday.
Yes,
because he never answered that question until he sat down with Gayle King.
Now, I only became aware very recently of this hypothetical question that went viral, and I just assumed it was an old lyric from a Jay-Z song, but nope. But no one seems to know when this question was first posed. The earliest instance that people have of it is from March 2017 when Instagram user Hometown Hero made the choice between a 10-minute dinner with Jay-Z. I mean, you're not eating a meal in 10 minutes, so that's a meeting. Or only $10,000. Then in March 2018, Twitter user Bianca did put a time limit on the dinner and raised the counteroffer to $50,000. By the time the streaming service that Jay-Z started, Tidal, opted for the money in September 2021, the amount had been upped to $500,000.
Hey, Hov, I'm taking that $500K. I ain't taking that dinner, I'm taking that $500K. You feel me?
That video went viral last week, and the crazy thing now about that video is that Jay-Z is wearing the same thing that he's wearing in the interview with Gayle King. They taped that interview in the Brooklyn Public Library where the Book of Hov exhibit is.
Hey, it's love though, you feel me?
And watching that video again, it sure looks like that could be in the library. So that's a crazy coincidence that someone asked him that either right before or right after Gayle King had just asked him his answer to that question. So let's get to his answer.
I gotta take the money. What I'm gonna say? Yeah, I mean everything that I'm gonna say.
No, only because people say, of course you take lunch with Jay-Z because the wisdom that you would get from him would be so beneficial to you.
So basically, it's the equivalent of the old proverb: give a man a fish and you feed him for a day; teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. Jay-Z would take the fish because there's other ways to learn.
You would take the money?
Yeah, because you got all that in the music for $10.99. That's a bad deal. I wouldn't tell you to cut a bad deal. Like
I don't
take
know.
the $500,000, go buy some albums and listen to the albums. It's all there.
And it's interesting because he was saying, he said maybe I should have been more reflective about that answer because sometimes it's about business relationships. I thought the answer he gave was a really great answer.
No, I would also choose the money, but I wouldn't be choosing it over wisdom I would get from a meal with Jay-Z, no. And Rick Ross is going to help me explain why.
I'm going to take the dinner and I'm going to tell you why.
For Rick, this is not a hypothetical.
In 2008, before I turned in my second album, I had a meeting with Hov. We went to lunch.
Yeah, lunch, not dinner, but go with it.
Philippe Chow, Manhattan. The orange chicken on the stick with the peanut sauce was the vibe at the time.
Rick isn't saying it was worth it because of the food. No, he's getting to it. Here he goes. If I went to dinner with Jay-Z, I said to him, what advice do you have to becoming successful? And he replied,
he said, Rose, verses writing to every beat you like, write to every record you can make work.
What do I do with that? I'm not a rapper. Like, even if I manage to adequately rap over a beat or two, it's certainly not enough for an album, and certainly not sustainable as a successful career. That advice is only beneficial to a rapper like Rick Ross.
So I went from writing one record to every 80 beats I like to writing 40 records out of every 80 beats I could make work. It took me to another level as a writer, another level as an artist. The amount of work I was putting out was next level.
Sorry, JC, I was saying more like in general, like just like, advice for becoming successful in business. Well, when I launched my first business venture in 1999, it was already a household name because I had already released 4 albums that sold over 11 million copies in the US alone and won a Grammy and was featured on a Mariah Carey track.
She wanna answer the phone, tattoo her arm. That's when I gotta send her back to her mom.
If you piece it together and really listen to the music for the words, for what it is, it's all there.
Oh, so I guess we're back to the writing to beats thing.
Everything that I said was gonna happen, happened. Everything that I said I wanted to do, I've done.
So that's why if I was going to dinner with Jay-Z, I would not waste my time asking for business advice because I'm never going to start with his foundation. I would spend my time asking different questions.
You better call Becky with the good hair.
So who was Becky with the good hair, and what was going through her head in that elevator?
See my cut through the holes. Damn, Yeezy and Hov, where the hell you been?
Where are you and Kanye at these days? The topic of who is the greatest rapper is a hotly debated one, and many choose you as the greatest. Do you see yourself as the GOAT? If not, who? Who bit Beyonce?
Let's light the stadium up.
I know you're retired from performing, but it must have pained you a little bit to go from performing alongside Beyonce at these stadiums to simply watching her from the crowd and only performing the electric slide. Rihanna had been out of music for 6 years and had already said no to the halftime show. At what point did you become aware that you could at least ask her? What conversations have you had with Taylor Swift about the Super Bowl halftime show?
This was the worst idea in the world to have 2 people do the Super Bowl. It was the worst idea in the world.
We know at least Jennifer Lopez was super annoyed that she had to share the halftime show stage in 2020. Did you have any remorse for that split decision? That's what I'd be using my time for. Now I'm kind of rethinking it. Is that worth $500,000 to find out the answer to all those questions? In theory, I would make sure that this dinner was filmed. Then I would either post it myself or sell it to Fox, CBS, NBC, or ABC for at least $500,000. So I get my dinner and my money.
There's the blueprint. The blueprint literally to me and my life and my journey is there already.
What would you go with? Dinner or $500,000?